wolves actually howl at the moon? And what are these ethereal lights that paint the Earth's skies at the North and South poles? But more about that later. First, let me tell you how I came about painting the Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights. This painting actually came out of the blue for me. Since I hate wasting paint, every time I finish a painting, I use the leftover paints on my palette to tone a new canvas. So that's what I did when I finished my last painting, my Starry Night Cosmic Creation. If you haven't watched that, I've given the link in the description below and it will pop up at the end of this video. So as I was saying, I just began smearing on the paints on the new canvas. Usually what happens is I scumble it on roughly. I don't make any particular marks as such. But this time, for some reason, I began stroking the paints. The blues, the greens, the little mauves. I wasn't thinking of the aurora at all. But as the paints on my palette finished up and I stepped back from the canvas, I suddenly realized, hey, that looks like the Northern Lights. So of course I had to do something about it. So that's when I decided to add the moon. The moon had to be pink for some reason, and a wolf howling at it from a rocky ledge. So do wolves actually howl at the moon? Well, sadly for my romantic heart, apparently they do not. They do it for more practical reasons, which help them to survive as a species. Previously, it was believed that wolves howled due to hunger during winter, but studies have shown now that howling and other wolf vocalizations are used to define territory for one, or to locate pack members, or to reinforce social bonds within the pack, and to warn off other wolves outside of the pack, and also to communicate with each other in the pack to coordinate hunting. In fact, all members of the Canidae family, such as foxes, coyotes, jackals, including wild dog species such as dingoes, and even our domestic dogs, they all howl. These belong to the subfamily known as canids or canines. And of course, wolves are the king of this canine family, or I like to think so. But while I do love scientific explanations of the world around us, I'm also a die-hard romantic at heart. So I wrote a poem, of course, called The Song of the Lonely Wolf, which I'll read out to you. The lonely wolf howls, singing a solitary song at the pink moon of a dark night, restless, longing, listening for an answering call. In this night, filled with the gossamer curtains, dancing with trembling wings, a translucent bird, lustrous blue and glimmery green, shimmering in the dark sky with the pink moon. The wolf's song, rising in urgent pitch, pierces through the whispering swish of the dancing curtains of shimmering lights, and from somewhere, far away in the dark distance, he hears an answering howl, piercing through the gossamer curtains of dancing lights, the restless, longing howl of a lonely wolf singing a solitary song, standing at the edge of a lonely ledge on the lonely pink moon. Do let me know what you think of my poem in the comments below. Talking about the pink moon though, while I just felt like painting it pink here, apparently a pink moon does occur once in a while. In fact, we had a pink full moon rise on the evening of the 5th of April this year. Although I did not see it, apparently it didn't actually look pink, but it gets its name from the color of flowers that bloom at this time of the year, such as the dusty pink colored moss pink wildflower. But even though the April 5th pink moon may not have been pink, however, as I was checking out if pink moons do occur, after I decided my moon would be pink, I came across images of the supermoon, which do look decidedly pink. A supermoon occurs when a full moon coincides with the moon's closest approach to the earth in its elliptical orbit, a point known as perigee. It's called a supermoon because of its larger appearance. So I'm kind of glad pink moons do happen. But let's talk about the northern lights now. How and why does this spectacular, mysterious phenomenon occur at our poles? It's called the northern lights or Aurora Borealis in the north and southern lights or Aurora Australis in the south. Science tells us the aurora occurs because the sun gives off solar winds of highly charged particles which interact with our atmosphere. While most of them are deflected by the magnetic field of the earth, some do get funneled down, especially at the poles. So, when these solar particles collide with the molecules of oxygen and nitrogen in the Earth's atmosphere, we get the luminous, glowing light show at the poles. But before science explained the how and why of the aurora, of course humans invented stories to make sense of their occurrence. The term Aurora Borealis is derived from the Greek words aurora, meaning sunrise, and boreas, meaning the north wind. Although it requires intense solar activity for the aurora to occur so far away from the poles, the lights, though rare, have been sighted in southern parts of Europe, in China, Japan, and even in the Himalayan region of India, Ladakh. So when the ancient Greeks got sight of the lights, they thought that Aurora, who was the sister of Helios and Selene, or the sun and moon, raced across the early morning sky in her multicolored chariot to alert her siblings to the dawning of a new day. In France and Italy, where the aurora appears in the red spectrum of light, it used to be feared because the people there thought it portended great calamities. In Finland, it was thought that the lights were caused by the fire fox, which ran so fast that its tail caused sparks that created the aurora. The Swedes thought the lights foretold good news, that it was a gift from benevolent gods providing warmth and light. To the Norse, the lights were reflections from the shields and armor of the Valkyrie, female warriors, or Odin's handmaids, who conducted slain warriors from the battlefield to Valhalla, or the Hall of Slain Warriors. The Inuit tribes thought the lights to be spirits of dead humans playing a game. The Cree Indian tribe of North America believed that the aurora was part of the life cycle and they were spirits of the dead trying to communicate with their loved ones whom they had left behind on earth. For the ancient Chinese, the lights were a celestial battle fought between good and evil dragons. The ancient Aborigines of Australia watched in awe as they witnessed their ancient gods dancing in the night sky. They, of course, were looking at the southern lights, or the Aurora Australis. And there are many such beautiful legends about the aurora from people who live in the vicinity of its occurrence. And as I finish my painting, I hope someday I will visit such a place to witness the dancing lights firsthand. But in the meantime, I watch them on YouTube videos. I have given the links of a couple of videos showing the northern and southern lights, and also one where the lights are seen from outer space. So, with that, I'll say bye for today. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and do leave a comment below. Bye! The wolf's song, rising in urgent pitch, pierces through the whispering swish of the dancing curtains of shimmering lights, and from somewhere, far away in the dark distance, he hears an answering howl, piercing through the gossamer curtains of dancing lights, the restless, longing howl of a lonely wolf singing a solitary song, standing at the edge of a lonely ledge on the lonely pink moon.